Guys, I swear, I think I'm not supposed to make this video. I've tried 9 times. Something has messed up every time. I'm getting so frustrated by this. So, got the rally cap. Maybe it'll help. Who knows, who cares, I'm getting really frustrated. This is a sighting video. Gonna go in order of most tops to least tops in the format. First up, synchro cap. You need to make sure that you have 2 cyber dragons, 3 compulsory evacuation devices. You should be maining 3D prisons regardless, but if you're not, make sure you have them, I guess. Let's see, Grand Mole is viable, and that's pretty much it. Tuner Scheme is decent, but it's not a post summon out, so I really hate it. You can't top into it as an answer. If they Cold Wave or Storm or MST or whatever, it's not an answer, it's not channelable. So I don't like the card that much, but you can try it, but I think it's too inconsistent to run. Hoplimus I also like a lot in the matchup, just because it walls Fire Dog and stuff. Walls Airbellums off of Cats and so on. 3 might be a little overkill in the matchup, but it's definitely viable. If you're already maining 3, I wouldn't say side 1 out. Maybe just keep them or whatever. I think side out Stratos. He's not as good in the matchup because of Fire Dog. And other than that, it's kind of judgment calls what to side out. Starlight Roads are a possibility for siding out. Arcanine only pops 1 at a time, and they don't. They usually run Caius, I think. So Starlight Road might not be the greatest card in the matchup. If they're playing Storm, Mirror, Torrential still, it's considerable to keep in. Maybe take out Trap Death Shoot if you run it. From my experience, Synchro Cat tends to burn below 4 kind of quickly. So yeah. Black Wings, Consecrated Light, or 3 Consecrated, 3 Starlight Road. Most important things to have in the matchup. Cyber Dragons and Call of the Haunted I do not like because it makes you more oppression weak. So if you're maining those, probably side them out against Black Wings. Compulsories you definitely want to side out, because it's usually not going to be worth it. Because, unless you're bouncing some kind of a synchro, otherwise you're just letting them reuse their whirlwinds, or make drawn whirlwinds live. So yeah. War Trade I usually only keep 1 in, just because I don't think it's that necessary. Collude is really the only thing that you will chariot that much, and I don't think it's worth a dead card most of the time. Trap Hole obviously is very good against him. Probably like the 3rd best defensive card behind Boundless and D-Prison. Hoplimus, excellent. I suggest 3 in the matchup, but it's not necessary. But I do think at least 2 is necessary, 3 is better. Secutor, I'm not sure how I feel about him yet. Right now I'm leaning towards go ahead and side him out, just because I just don't like him that much. There's too many ways they can force your chariot, and if they have multiple ways in 1 turn, or anything like that, then your Herc just dies, and it makes you more oppression weak, and therefore inconsistent in the matchup. So I don't like Secutor in the matchup at all. But you can keep it in if you like it. Light Sworn, most people would say Light Imprisoning Mirror first thing off their head. I disagree. 3 Hoplomus, 3 Enemy Controller, 3 War Chariot, 3 Starlight Robe. Most important things to have in the matchup, make sure you have 3 of all 4 of these cards. It is necessary, completely required. Only after that would I go to Light Mirror, which I feel at this point is pretty equal to DD Crow in its usefulness in the matchup. But DD Crow is more versatile, so if you're pressed for a room on the side, I'd say go for Crow, if either. Definitely keep Cyber Dragons in, they're completely necessary. Secutor, I would side out. I would side out Stratos just because you don't want the added slowness in the matchup, and it's way too easy for them to run over. Obviously side out Cold Wave. Usually the only spell and trap removal I keep in against Lightsworn is 1 MST and 2 Dust Tornadoes. Side out Compulsories, I would say. Side out Call. Probably keep Dust Shoot if you run it. Trap holes are viable. If you main them already, keep them in. If you side them, consider bringing them in, but don't make a huge deal if you can't. So I think that covers that. Gadgets. DD Crow is actually surprisingly good and actually pretty important. Obviously that only applies to the Machina builds. You want to make sure that you can negate their force if possible at all, because it's a really bad card for GB to have to play around. Pulling the Rug is an option, and it's also, you can side it against quick draw decks. It hits their gadgets, you can side against Monarchs, and stuff like that. 3 Compulsory I like, just because it hits the Machina Force. Obviously 3D Prison is necessary. Cold Wave MST, 3 Dust. Starlight Road, maybe don't keep it in, depends if they're running Storm Mirror Torrential or not. If they're not, I would say just drop it, because they run no other double destructions, and they do run oppressions most of the time as far as I know. I don't know that Call of the Haunted is necessary. It's viable. I wouldn't say side it in, I wouldn't necessarily say side it out though. Hoplomus, I definitely like a lot. Probably only 2 though. Cyber Dragon, make sure you have both of them in. You can send them with Prisma and make big Fortress Dragons for, +2s or more. And it doesn't trigger the Machina Force. And it's really, 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 really big. So yeah, I think that's it in that matchup. Let's see, and last is Gladiator here. Most important thing, 3 econs. Gotta have all 3 of them. It's necessary. So many sick combos, and it's more defense if you need it. Second most important, brain control. Obviously I shouldn't have to explain this. Legendary Jiu-Jitsu Master and Jowls of Dark Demise are both good cards in the matchup. Jowls is more directly devastating because it takes her GB and then you tag it out. Jiu-Jitsu is more versatile because you can bring it in the gadget matchup. So that's dependent on your room, how much gadgets are in your meta, and so on. As far as siding out, I would say side out Cold Wave because of Test Tigers. I would say side out Secutor also because of Test Tigers, although I guess you can keep it in if you plan to run 3 Alchemist, 3 Econ, 3 Chariot, which I do. I think it's excellent, really incredible. It's the reason I never lose a mirror. So if you're keeping that in so that you have the 3 Chariots, I think Secutor is much, much better. And I would probably keep it in, but if you're not maxing on Chariot, I would say probably side Secutor out. Compulsory, excellent card. Call, excellent card. Trap Hole is good. I wouldn't stress about getting it in, but if you main it, I'd say try to keep it in, and if you side it, try to get it in. But I would keep Compulsory sooner than I would bring in truffles. So that's it for this video. Any questions or comments, post on my page. See ya.